What's going on, brother? I think Ty got frozen there, bro. What do you
Oh
think there,
man,
Mo? Is Ty back?
I I don't know, man. I think his suntan's looking pretty nice over there, just chilling, or he's
Yeah,
frozen, one of the two.
we went live and he froze. All right, we're gonna have to get him back. So let me see if I can get him in the private chat. That's a hell of a way to start a show. Just get one of your co-hosts to just freeze.
It is. Bam.
Oh, he's
He was
coming,
just
trying to
fine.
come back in. We got two Ty slices here.
Now you got to me before I was ready. I was trying to shut down my contender stream just so I could get better internet going.
Oh, my bad. All right, so Ty Slice, I introduced you and then you froze up. How's it going?
Yeah, my bad. It's going all right. Just ready to talk about this terrible card.
Oh boy, here we go. We got Mo. We brought you on for this terrible card. So what do you think, brother?
Man, that's what I was thinking was could you possibly bring me on a worse card? But hey, we're gonna make the best of it, and I see a couple little things here and there, so we're gonna make the best of it, brother.
I tell you what, it does drive me nuts when people complain about the card because I think having a card is just better than not having a card.
Agreed.
So if you think about what we kind of went through last week as fight fans, looking for something to watch on TV. Did you guys watch any of the Bellator?
I didn't.
No. Mo, you watch any Bellator or no?
Man, like I watched the main card, like I streamed it on my YouTube, and I mean it was a good card, all finishes, but it was pretty brutal, the people fighting.
Well, I tell you what, we got a few people coming in here. MMA KO is already posting comments, so any comments that we get, we'll put on air. We're hoping that CG joins us. As of now, he's trying to get the kids to bed. So if I actually zomp out, it may be because my son's back. So Ty, just take over from there. But let's get into this first card. And my boy Mo showed me, or this first fight on the card, I should say. My boy Mo showed me a ton of paperwork, man. You got a ton of notes, so I don't want to hold you up at all. I want you to flow right now.
I mean, we won't go through every note because I mean we don't have hours. But
No. But definitely, I want to make use of those notes. So maybe you can come up with some notes, and then Ty can tell you why you're wrong because he tells me why I'm wrong all the time.
We had a little convo earlier, and he already told me he was not a parlay man, so we already started off on the wrong foot.
That is true. All right, so let's.
Did you get any of those contenders bets in?
I didn't.
I did not, man.
I was trying to get my son to sleep, unfortunately. So
Brown hit the first one, got us -170, and then Sasoli should have won, but they ruled it a no contest.
Why did they roll it? No, what happened there?
He hit him with an uppercut, and he said he got poked in the eye, and the referee stopped it. Or the doctor actually stopped it. The referee gave it a no contest. I thought that it was a clean shot, though. I thought his knuckle hit him.
Wow. Yeah, unfortunately for him. All right, so this is a formal introduction to this card. UFC on ESPN plus 15, Andrade versus Zhang. We got a couple Zhang fans on the podcast, but Mo, why don't you break down this first fight I'm gonna butcher these names all night. So by all means, just tell me how I mispronounce them if I do. Batgerel, Danaa versus Heili, Alateng. I'm sure I'm way off there. Both of these guys are making their UFC debut in this fight. It's at 135 pounds. So Mo, go ahead, break this down for us. What do you think? And just to get some betting odds, let's throw some betting odds up there. This is more or less a pick 'em, Mo. So what do you think here?
All right, man. First off, how I think of this Danaa guy, I just think Danaa with AAA at the end. You know what I'm saying? So just remember that, and you're good to go. For starters, yeah, like you said, both UFC debuts. Heili is already 12-7, so if a man already has 7 losses on the regional scene coming into the UFC, it's not looking very good. But he blitzes forward with punches. He's steady trying to switch levels, and he's constantly going for takedowns. Does he get them? No. But does he go for them? Yes, he does. He goes for a lot of them. But that's where but another thing, my man gasses. Going into the second or third round, my man seemed like He starts losing because he's shooting a lot of takedowns. Danaa is going to stop those takedowns. He's going to make them. He's going to throw knees up the middle. He's going to throw uppercuts, tire him out. Danaa throws like 1-2. He doesn't really throw 1-2-3 a lot, but that 1-2, that 2 is really powerful. He brings that 2 right down the middle. And that's how I probably end up seeing that finishing second, third round. I don't remember his name. Heili is going to be gassed from going them takedowns. Wham, bam, Danaa with a stoppage, second round.
All right, Ty, what do you think here, bro? You agree, disagree?
Yeah, so I disagree from the standpoint that Danaa has terrible takedown defense. He's good at stopping 1 or 2 takedowns, but when people put him together multiple times, he kind of struggles with the chain wrestling, and that's kind of what Alateng.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Heili Alateng.
Yeah, that's kind of what he does. I'm not in love with the line where it is now. At one point, he was up to plus 175, and I kind of wish I would have jumped on it, but I thought it was going to keep going up. But right now, I'm just going to sit this one out. I think Alateng's going to win based off the wrestling. I think he's going to win a decision. The fight goes to decision at plus 130 is not a terrible bet. But I think I'm going to hold off and wait and try to get better odds on Alateng here.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not all in on this card. Normally, the first fight on the card, if I bet it, it's going the other way. So I'm probably going to stay away from this fight as well. But I like your input, Ty Slice.
Yeah, so we do see those odds there. And I guess, Ty, that plus 175 wasn't around for long, huh? A few hours, and then it kind of got steep.
Yeah, it wasn't around for long, but you know, the trend at him opening at plus 135 and then jumping up to 175, I thought it might keep climbing, and I was hoping to get it around plus 200, but I kind of missed the boat on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to hope to get right around the starting odds if possible. If not, I might just sit this one out.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I think I'm going to sit out these first 2 fights. I'll give you a little bit of what I got, but I don't see any bets here. And again, I kind of got killed last week with my bets. I hit my parlay and I lost all 4 of my straight bets. So, but yeah, what you guys are saying is exactly more or less what I wrote down. Heili Alateng, wrestler type with a little bit of striking. I think he's the one that's a little shorter. There was a 2-inch height disadvantage. Danaa, as Mo was saying, he's coming off a 14-month layoff. He's been off for a while. He actually lost a decision to Kai Kara-France, who's on this card also. In 2013. I don't know. I mean, Alateng, his only loss, his last loss, I should say, not his only loss. He lost a bunch when he was younger, but his last loss was to a guy who's 13-1, caught him with a knee up the middle. I don't know. I don't know which way to really go with this. I think if it plays out on the feet, I think Danaa's gonna be able to outpoint him here, but Alateng can definitely get that wrestling. If he gets those takedowns, he can win rounds. So that's the way I look at it. I think it's more or less a pick'em fight. So I think the line where it is right now is a pretty good line. If I had to pick someone, I'm gonna probably go Danaa. I think he'll be able to get the best of the striking and win 2 rounds. But I think it goes to decision. So take it for what it's worth. I guess we're both against Ty in this first one, but I think it's very, very close. This next fight, again, I really don't have a strong take, so I don't want to really do much more than introduce this fight for you guys. Karol Rosa and Lara Procopio. Procopio is undefeated, 6-0. Both of these girls are from Brazil. Not really sure why this fight is on this card, being both of these girls are from Brazil. Maybe somebody has some insight into that. But at this point, I bet it's line pretty close, right? Where are we here? Yeah, this one is a pick'em too, Ty. What do you think here, Ty?
Yeah, so with this fight, man, I'm not a fan of either one of these fighters. I think Procopio has the advantage in the grappling. She has the better jiu-jitsu. I'm just not convinced she can take her down. Rosa has pretty good takedown defense, and I kind of favor her in this fight to keep it standing. And if it stays standing, I could see her pointing her way to a decision.
Yeah, Mo, I don't even want to give much of a breakdown at all. The only thing that I wrote down was I think Rosa wins a striking-based decision, and I gave her my lean, but it's definitely not a lock, and it's definitely not something I'm going to play. But what do you think here, Mo?
Yeah, like, I'm thinking the same thing, guys. I'm thinking, Lara is the little bit more aggressive of a fighter. She's going to try to press Rosa against the cage. I don't think she's going to have a lot of luck doing that. Rosa seems like she likes to stay in the center of the cage. If she's on the outside, she seems to always circle back to the center to where she's in the center. So if Laura's going to push her back, she's going to have to blitz forward and press her against the cage. And I don't see Lara having that kind of striking. I see Rosa throwing a lot of jabs, a lot of leg kicks, keeping the distance, stopping a takedown or two from the clinch, and winning a decision victory.
Yeah, so I think for the most part we're all in agreement there. All right, let's get to this next fight. I'll throw out a brief introduction, and we'll go from there. I think that this is a very playable line on Ismagulov, minus 185. I really like Damir in this fight. I like Thiago Moises in his last two fights. I remember Beneil Dariush, she came in on short notice. Beneil basically just took him down, grounded him, didn't even get a chance to get off on the feet. I can't remember who his next opponent is. I didn't write it down. But again, Moises who was it?
Kurt Hollabaugh.
Kurt Hollabaugh, that's who it was. But Moises can strike. The thing with Damir is that Damir is just so technically sound. I just expect him to take Moises down at the right time, to use the jab, keep the distance. And if this is going to be a distance fight, I think Damir is just going to be able to, systematically piece him up and win a decision here. Again, based on what I've seen from Damir, especially in the UFC, I don't know how much of a finisher he is on this level at 155. Again, he's going to need to finish at some point if he wants to get up to the upper echelon of the division. But for the most part, I think Moises is the guy that has the finishing ability. I just think Damir is going to be able to use that technical savvy to win a striking based decision and even go for these takedowns. So that's more or less what I'm looking at. My picker is Ismagulov. You can play him straight or throw him in parlays. So, Ty, I'll throw it to you here. What do you think here?
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. As long as Moises doesn't land big, Ismagulov should dominate this fight everywhere. Moises does have power advantage, but that's really it. And I'm a little bit surprised the line's only minus 180. I plan on playing that straight and hooking it up in parlays, like you said.
Okay, so two of us are in agreement. Mo, what do you think here?
That's three of them, brother.
Oh, that's three. Okay.
I think Damir has shown that he's going to win one of two ways, and that's both ways he's won in the UFC. He's won a boring stand-up victory with real low volume to beat Joe Alvarez, Yoel, whatever my man's name is. And then he also came out and beat Alex Georgie's, whatever, by taking him down. He took him down 10 times and landed 206 total strikes, and 152 of those were on the ground. So he's shown that he can either win a boring stand-up decision or he can take you down and smash you. And here's the little kicker to me. Thiago has lost that way. He has Benny took him down, controlled him, got 8 takedowns. No. Wrong point. But he did get taken down and controlled and smashed. So that's kind of how I see it going. But either way, Damir for the win.
Yeah, he took him down a lot in that fight. I think some of those takedowns, he just wound up spending the rest of the round on his back, though.
Yeah, 8 of 16. That's what it was.
Yeah, no, I know he was on his back for a while. And again, Beneil had been knocked out, right, by Alex Hernandez previously. So he was just trying to play that one safe too. All right, Mo, let me throw this one right back to you. Jung versus Khadis Ibragimov. Again, I told you guys I'm going to end up butchering these names. This fight's coming in at light heavyweight. So who do you like here? Give us a little bit of a breakdown here.
What's the line on this, sir, if you don't mind?
Yeah, right now we have. Let me bring it up for you too, so everybody can see it. I'll put it on the full screen. We got at plus 260, and we got Khadis at minus 320.
I think that should be a lot closer than what it is. I think Khadis is going to win. I think he's a monster. I think he has great grappling, great judo throws. He doesn't really throw straights a lot. You'll see him come throwing wild, looping punches, but straight power. You watch some of his sambo fights. That's what he's doing. He's knocking people out left and right. All his MMA bouts, he's picking people up, slamming them, judo throwing them. I think Jung, whatever my man's name is, I think his stand-up is good. I think that like he uses his palm a lot to keep people at range, and then he'll keep them there and just 1-2, and he'll work them, and then he'll try to get the tie plum and start throwing knees up the middle. But against somebody lesser quality of Khadis, I would be on Jung or whatever, but just Khadis looks like a bigger jacked up version of Khabib. And not really, but he looks like a beast, so we're going to go Khadis.
Okay, that's quite the breakdown there. Ty, what do you think here? And build anything on that?
No, I agree 100%. I think what Mo said that kind of hit home is that stuff is worked on people of lesser quality. Ismagulov, he's top notch. He's upper echelon. That kind of stuff's not going to work on him. He's going to be able to pretty much do whatever he wants in this fight. And I don't really have a problem with the line being minus 320. I think I'm going to put him in parlays. I don't know if I'm going to bet straight. If it drops a little bit, I will. But right now, he's going to be anchored in some of my parlays.
These lines came out later in the week, Ty. So the only line here is fight doesn't go to decision. Fight goes to decision. Would you play an inside the distance line?
I'm not really sure yet, but I did say Ismagulov. I meant the other guy that started with the
Ibragimov. Yeah, I know who you were talking about.
Yeah, I get confused with all these international names, but no, I'm not sure if I'm going to play that. I'm going to wait until the lines come out, but he will be at minus 320. He's going to be anchored in some of my parlays. Inside the distance, maybe. It kind of depends on what the line is when it drops.
Mo, do you play any props or do you just play straight lines? What do you do?
I normally just play straight lines, or I might play like an over or an under every now and then, certain round. But I don't normally play by submission or knockout, anything like that. I don't have those big grapefruits yet, brother.
Well, as you guys can hear, my son is maybe joining us for the podcast shortly.
He didn't like that pick, man.
No, he didn't like that pick at all. Not at all. Ty, I left this fight for you because I know this is your buddy. Andrade Soukhamthath versus Mudaerji. You can let Mo, you can fill Mo in why he's your buddy, but I'm just gonna say, Mo, I had about Ty, what was that? About 9 months ago or so when he fought who's your boy that he fought? Lefty guy. Jonathan Martinez. So I had a 10-unit play on Soukhamthath, and it was close. I mean, Soukhamthath did his best to lose that fight, but
yeah, he did.
Yeah,
dude will lose some fights.
Yeah. But that's why I'm gonna leave it up to Ty to break this down and
yeah. I mean, if you guys have been following the podcast, you know that Soukhamthath is one of my most hated fighters in the UFC. Guy has the worst fight IQ I've ever seen, and I can't put any money behind him. Man, I think this fight, unless Soukhamthath works his takedowns, he's going to get pieced apart on the feet. And you're going to get pieced apart on the feet. You have a terrible fight IQ, and you're minus 175. Sign me up on the underdog all day.
Tie slice. I think you're just being a little biased, buddy.
Go ahead, Mo. Let us know, Mo. You got something else to add?
I'll stand by it with my money, so it's fine.
To me, Osu, he doesn't put out enough volume to hurt Soukhamthath. Hey, we're just going to call him Souk because I got CTE sometimes, so, I'll stutter and over some names, you know what I mean, if they're over 3 syllables. But Hey, Soukhamthath, hey, there's no way he can lose this fight. Listen to this. He's going to press forward. That's what he does. Hands up. He's going to walk forward. He's going to be able to eat anything my man throws. My man throws them little kicks. Like, that's how they sound. And he's going to be able to eat that. Boom, walk forward, throw 1-2s. He's not going to have to worry about taking them on the ground. He's going to win a decision that way. Hey, trust me, I know he's the absolute hands down worst fight IQ. I have it highlighted right here on all the notes. Sugar Sean, you know what I'm saying? That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen ever in my life. But I just don't see him losing this fight. So.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with you. I just don't see him losing this fight. I think he's going to be the stronger guy. I think his strikes are going to be more powerful. I'll agree with Ty this. I can't put money on it. I'm not going to put any money on it. But if I'm going to go with a straight play here, I'm going to go with Soukhamthath for that reason. I think he's going to be the stronger guy. I think he's going to be able to get off the better strikes, the more powerful strikes, do more damage. And again, on the ground, I mean, Ty, you're usually better at picking off on the ground. Do you think that this guy, Sue, has anything for Soukhamthath on the ground?
No, but I really don't think that Soukhamthath has much on the ground either. I think that I honestly think that Mudaerji is gonna work him over on the feet. He doesn't have the power advantage. He's not a powerful striker, but he's very technical and he's fast. And I think that he's gonna get off on him on the feet. The only problem with this is Mudaerji has terrible takedown defense, and Soukhamthath has been prone to mixing in a lot of takedowns. So that's my only fear for this. But you guys might have talked me into a half unit play instead of a full unit play on Mudaerji. But I'm going to take that plus money against somebody that I think is better on the feet versus somebody that.
Who do you think has better takedown defense, Jonathan Martinez or Sue?
I would have said Martinez until his last fight, but now I have no idea.
Yeah, see, that's my thing. He took Jonathan Martinez down 6 for 6. He went 6 for 6 on takedowns. So
yeah,
no,
and that's my only fear about it is because Soukhamthath can, but he's also a fighter that will mix it up with him on the feet. So with his fight IQ, is he going to take it down? I don't really know.
No, I agree 100%. Also,
yeah,
just one more little thing to me, like the tape study I watched, Sue, he stands there and he's bouncing and he's waiting for somebody to come in so he can counter him. And I think Soukhamthath, boy, I didn't show where I was from there, didn't I? Just walks forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can hit him with the kitchen sink and he's going to go guard high and walk forward. And he's going to be able to walk through those little slap kicks and those. Like, you're right. I mean, Sue does have very nice striking, very nice footwork. He's very flexible. If Soukhamthath does get him down, he's very flexible with stretching out his long frame and getting up. Mm-hmm. But if he gets his shoulders on the back, he seems like he just takes the rest of the round off. So I don't know, man. I'm going to go Sue though. But I like how you're thinking.
Yeah, I think we gave a pretty good breakdown overall in that fight, but I don't disagree with a lot of the things you said. If I go back to that fight versus Jonathan Martinez, Andre was able to get him pushed back up against the cage because he used his strength and then got a lot of his takedowns pressed up against the cage after hurting him with some body shots and stuff. So I don't know if that's going to be available here. Especially if Mudaerji is basically just getting out of the way. Plus, Jonathan Martinez, Ty, if I remember, he was there on like a 10-day notice, right?
I think it was even less than that. I think it was like a 3 or 4 day notice.
It may have been less than that.
And
yeah,
it was a class up.
That's true. That is true. Here. And again, not for nothing, but Sue he got taken advantage of on the ground in his last fight. Who was that last fight against? So he got armbarred in the second round.
Who are you asking about, bro?
Mudaerji. He got armbarred by.
Oh yeah, he got armbarred by Smolka
in the second round, right?
Yeah,
I
but
think that was
Smolka's
Smolka's first fight back, right?
Smolka's a lot better on the ground than Soukhamthath, though.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is I don't think Smolka's a big guy for the weight class, and I think that Andre is going to be a lot stronger than both Smolka and Sue.
Yeah, no doubt, Andre is going to be the stronger of the two. I just think that if this fight stays standing, that Mudaerji is going to pick him apart.
All right, let's move on to this next fight because we're talking way too much about a guy that you hate, Soukhamthath. But Anthony Hernandez and Jung Park. Well, I'm going to throw this one to you only because I don't have a strong lean, so me breaking this down isn't really going to do us much good. And the reason I don't have a strong lean is really because of Park. I just don't really know who Park is. I don't really trust the tape that I've seen. I really did like the tape on Anthony Hernandez going into his first fight. But obviously he lost that fight. So, Mo, what do you think here?
All right, man. I'm thinking it's going to end one of two ways. Park likes to strike. He has a really good jab. He throws a cross hook a lot when he's walking backwards. If somebody's pressuring him, it's just a natural reaction. If you watch his tape, he just throws it. He goes backwards and he throws it hard. Boom, and he catches people with it. So I either see, and Fluffy, Mr. Hernandez, his striking style, he comes in and throws a lot of big wild stuff. He's not a big straight. Like there's strikers that throw straight and there's strikers that throw big looping hooks. Fluffy is a big looping hook thrower. So I could either see it ending with Park catching him with that cross hook and knocking him down. And once he knocks people down, he throws them short little hammer fists like he's having fun, you know what I'm saying? And then he gets the win. Or something that he does once he gets knocked down or taken down, he does the old Derrick Lewis, I'm just going to stand up. I'm just going to stand up. And he gets on all fours and stands up. And Fluffy has a couple chokes on his record. So I could see a scramble happening, Park going to get up, Fluffy jumping on, getting like a darce or getting a guillotine or taking his back and getting a win that way. So either way, I kind of see a finish here just because they both throw really hard. They're real wild. Out of the two, I'm going to go with the guy that's already had a UFC fight, Fluffy. I see him somehow snatching up a choke because Park has either one or a couple. I think it's one rear naked choke loss. So he's been known to tap. So that's what we're going to go with is Fluffy by tap. Submission.
All right, Fluffy by tap. That's the first tap called out on this podcast.
You like that?
I do like that.
Thank
Ty
you, sir.
Slice is patiently waiting. I think he disagrees. What do you think?
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of Anthony Hernandez. I think that the line is kind of jacked up because of the public perception on him. He came in and looked great in his first fight, and he hasn't really looked good since. I think that he's the type of fighter that he has the power, but he doesn't really use it. I honestly have no idea. I can't figure out his stand-up. In this fight, Park has never lost a round standing up. And, you know, with that being said, like, he doesn't lose the type of fight that Hernandez usually brings. And so right now you're getting plus money on him at plus 145. I think that he should be the favorite, to be honest. And the only time that Park really struggles is when he gets taken down. Hernandez hasn't shown that he's really that good of a wrestler. So if he does get a takedown, is he going to be able to keep him there? We don't really know what Hernandez brings outside of some mediocre type striking. And I think that Park is going to piece him up. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a decision.
Interesting. I kind of get the feeling that this fight is going to finish. I really don't have a good play either way, so that's why I didn't really give much of a breakdown. But I kind of feel like these guys are looking to finish each other and get their names on the map. But
if anybody has fight of the night betting, I think that this one is a good candidate for it, though.
Yeah, that's kind of my feeling on this. I don't have a strong lean either way. I just know only because I don't know about Park too much. You know what I mean? I don't trust what I know. What I do know though is I like Derrick Krantz in this next fight. and Kenan Song or Song Kenan, whatever his name is. I think Krantz came in short notice in that last fight, right? He was on the show with Dana White and Matt Serra and Din Thomas. What's the name of that show? I can't think of it right now. But he was on that show
looking for a fight or whatever.
Looking for a fighter, right? So he was on the first episode this year, this season, and basically I think he had a finish on the show, and then he basically talked his way into the UFC. Had a conversation with Dana White, and he said, "Yeah, you're a little bit older, but I really like your, the way you carry yourself, the way you present yourself, and everything." And then again, I think they put that show out early. That's my take on it, only because he took that short notice fight with Vicente Luque. Krantz, I thought he would have a better showing in that fight, to be honest with you, but Luque just ran through him like he does with a lot of people. So, take it for what that's worth. I think we're going to see a better Derrick Krantz here. I think this is another fight tie for DraftKings, for GPPs. I think that this is going to finish just like the last one is. And I kind of favor Krantz. So I like that underdog price on Krantz. I'm going to go with Krantz by knockout, KO, TKO. I think he gets the upset here over in China. But Mo, what do you think here?
Man, I'm kind of agreeing with you. At first, I was thinking Song because of Krantz's style. It seems like he's that, how we were talking, there's straights and there's looping. He's definitely to put his head down and looping to get in to pressure you against the cage, pressure you up against the cage, try to drag you down from there. He's a pretty good grappler, a lot of power in his punches because he throws everything into it. So at first, I was thinking Song's going to catch him with that 1-2, with that 2-piece, not the 3-piece, but the 2-piece with the 1 power at the end. But then the more I just started thinking about it, with his fight against Morono landed over 200 strikes on him. Then Hector Aldana, he was losing. If you go look at the stats, he was losing on the total striking. So Aldana was up 82-68 on total strikes, significant strikes. He was up 78-64 when Song finished Aldana. So he was losing that fight until he won it. So with all that being said, I think I'm going to go with what you said. I think Krantz is going to be able to take whatever Song gives, be able to hit him with something big, either take him out or he's going to pressure him up against the cage, tire him out, drag him down, pot shot him into a decision victory.
All right, Ty Slice. I have a feeling that you're disagreeing with us, so go ahead, bro.
No, I've been going back and forth on this. I think Krantz is the better overall fighter. I think he has more ways to win, but for some reason, I just keep seeing that Song has that power to crack. And like Mo was alluding to, Krantz throws a lot of looping shots. I think that Song's going to be able to crack him at some point. With the line right down the middle, I don't really know if I'm going to make a play on it, just because I don't have a good feeling one way or another. And I keep bouncing back and forth. So the lines makers, they set this line pretty legit. And I think I'm just going to take a wait-and-see approach, maybe see how they are at weigh-ins, see if I notice anything. But right now I'm leaning towards Song, not confident enough to bet it, though.
See, that was my thing, too, is with Krantz throwing those looping punches, how do you counter a looping punch and a leg kick is a straight? And that's Song's best strike that he has that he throws. So that's how, like, point A to point B is faster than taking it all the way around. So I saw Krantz getting cracked. Ooh, that rhymed. I didn't even mean that.
And he throws those straights with power, too.
Yeah, he does. Especially he'll just throw the jab out there to make you see it, and then he'll bring that too fast and hurt you.
That's how he beat Bobby Nash and Aldana, right? Didn't he beat them both with straight?
Yes, sir.
Straight punches. All right, interesting. I like that take based on the fact that it brought back a little flashback from my my tape study on that too. So, all right, maybe I'm not as confident in that pick as I was earlier. This next fight is interesting. I guess, Mo, let me throw this one to you. Yanan Wu So Yanan Wu was a girl who lost to Gina Mazzani, who I believe that was at 135. And I didn't think that anyone was allowed to lose to Gina Mazzani and then get another fight in the UFC. But she did, and then winds up submitting Lauren Mueller in the first round. And Mueller was a big favorite, right? She was like minus 400, I believe, in that fight, as a big favorite. And then she's fighting Mizuki Inoue, who Inoue is interesting. I didn't really know who she was when I started the tape study, but she's got some opponents that she's fought that in Invicta. When she was in Invicta, she fought Beck Rawlings a while ago. What were you saying, Ty? I'm sorry.
She's a stud.
Well, there you go. Then you got to tell me why this fight is lined so close, because I saw that Inoue, had fights with Beck Rawlings. Who the other one? Carolina, and your girl, right? Alexa Grasso, right? She fought all three of them in Invicta. Left Invicta, had some fights, and again, she's been fighting for a while, and she's still young. Like Wu is 23, and I think Inoue is 25, right? So Mo, what do you think here? Is there any reason not to put a bet in on Inoue?
No, man, I think that's the clear cut decision here. One, I always I like the side story, and not really a side story here, but corner wise, Inoue has Longo in her corner. Punch him in the fucking chest. You know what I mean? That's what he's gonna be yelling. You know what I'm saying? One thing that Mizuki does, and I didn't know a lot about her either until I did some tape study. She has excellent head movement. She's always moving her head, footwork, really good. She's always in and out. What that does against somebody that fights like Wu's real flat-footed, and she's waiting for you to come in, and she's the bigger girl, so she's looking to tie you up and push you up against the cage. And Inoue doesn't allow anything like that to happen unless she engages. And she's an excellent grappler too. So if she gets you on the ground, she's not just going to lay and pray. She's going to get position over submission. When she gets the better, once she gets full mount, then that's when she's going to go. Or if she's in half guard and she thinks she has it, then she's going to go. She's not just a scramble. I hope I can do this. She knows what she's doing. She goes one step, point A, point B, point C, and she doesn't look back. I think she's a super stud, like you said. 3 big names that she fought. She's going to have the experience. Wu got that one armbar by Lauren Mueller, which I think I threw a bottle on that one. I was pretty pissed off on that one. So, yeah, I think the clear-cut play is Inoue. By decision, but Inoue is your winner.
So, Ty, what do you think here? Yanan Wu is coming down. Basically came down from 135 to fight at 125 against Mueller. Inoue, I believe, is this her debut at 125? Has she fought at 125 yet?
I don't know offhand, but I think that Inoue is the better fighter no matter where the fight goes. To be honest, I think that this is a really good spot for her. I don't understand why the line's at minus 140 for her. I'm going to load up on that line. And I actually might wait. Actually, I'm not going to wait on that line. I'm going to bet that line probably when we get off air. But I think that she could actually lock in a submission. I think that she's really good on the ground. And see, like, it even opened up at what is it, minus 105?
Yeah, minus 105 was the open.
Yeah, and I wish I would have grabbed it back then, but that was probably a while ago.
Yeah, but, you know what? I don't even know if that was one of those lines that it got kind of pushed to minus 140 real quick. So I don't even know if that was really even available.
Yeah, that was mispriced. I think that the odds makers might have set it at this because of the hometown judging and stuff, and a fight that is favored to go to the decision. I personally think that Inoue is gonna submit her maybe round 2 or so. So I'm gonna wait and see what the submission line is also, and I might make a play on that, a smaller play on that. But I'm gonna load up on Inoue at minus 140. All
right, yeah, and again, this is a good time if anyone sees my hat right now. SBet, you may recognize the S from the score. I actually went down to, I live in Jersey, so I went down to Hoboken. We had a little Joshua, I don't know if anybody knows him, Giant. He used to work for FanDuel. He was a player rep. He's now over at the Score. Invited me and a bunch of my friends down to a little beta testing party. So we a bunch of us all put in on the same bet, and we wound up losing the bet. But for the most part, the Score is going to be coming to Jersey soon. I don't know if they're offering MMA lines, but they should be, live for football. I think this is like the 16th book now. Darren Ravel put it out the other day. I think it's the 16th book now in Jersey. There's a lot of books in Jersey, but yeah. Shout out to Giant and shout out to the Score coming into the betting market here.
When was that you guys went there?
When was that time?
Was that for the Anaheim card?
No, we actually went. We went down. That was like last Wednesday. So we just went and we bet baseball.
Oh, okay. And you didn't even hit baseball bets.
No, I didn't. I put it in on Anaheim actually. That was the night my buddy actually put in on Oakland and they beat the Yankees. That's when they swept the Yankees last week. Yeah, so okay. I should have just went. I should have.
I was just gonna say, I know we haven't talked much about the Anaheim card, but I was sitting with James Lynch all night and we were talking, and he wants to come on the podcast sometime soon.
Yeah, definitely. And James is doing a great job with the Score MMA. On YouTube, on Twitter, a lot of information, a lot of interviews, a lot of the fighter interviews that I used to watch that Ty told me not to watch. Don't pay attention to the narrative. Most of that stuff was James Lynch's stuff. So,
hey, being behind the scenes though in Anaheim, I'll just tell you straight up, Jorge Masvidal is a scary dude.
Yeah, no, like, I mean,
being in the same room as him, interviewing him, he's a real gangster.
And you know what the thing? You knew that he was a real gangster because that guy started out in backyard brawls. I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen the films. If you haven't seen the films, you definitely need to go to YouTube, type in Jorge Masvidal, Kimbo Slice, Miami backyard brawls, because those brawls are just crazy. Plus, he's fighting guys that were just much bigger than him at that point in his upbringing. So, Mo, let's get you back on the podcast for another breakdown. Zhenhong Liu and Movsar Evloev. I believe this is a pretty big line, right? Evloev. Yeah, he's minus 700. So you don't have to do. You may want to keep your notes in your pocket for this one, bro. But what do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a long breakdown right here. Just go watch any tape on Evlov or whatever my man's name is, and dude's a monster. Big power. He's looking to crack. He's not your typical. We're talking about straights or looping. He throws both. He'll throw 1, 2, 3 with the big hook, and he has a big straight. My man has good judo throws. Faced pretty decent competition. Great ground game. Real jacked up dude. He's at least came in overweight one time that I know of. So I mean, my man's on that Brock Lesnar, you know what I'm saying? And Zhenhong, just a real scrappy dude. Looks to throw a lot of wild stuff. Throws high kicks, but when he throws high kicks, he does like a no-no, and I know he knows it's a no-no. But he'll if he's throwing this leg, he'll duck his head way on this side and throw. And I could see, Evlov, he does this jumping, looping hook. And I could see something like that going on, him trying to throw one of those high kicks, dropping his head on that side. And Evlov cracking him with that left, dropping him, getting on top of him, probably finishing him. Probably second round TKO.
Yeah, I remember OSP finishing Corey Anderson with something similar to that, just dropping. And then that Ty's boy, John Jones, right? That's how he finished DC. DC dropped his head over to the left and caught that leg kick. So, Ty, what do you think here?
Yeah, to expand on that, I'll do you one better. Just go watch the first time they fought. It was domination. Evloev just dominated him, and I think that he's gotten better since then. So, I mean, at minus 700, it's the line is actually kind of low, which sounds crazy to say of a minus 700 line, but he was so dominant in the first time that they fought, and this is, I mean, I think that he's gotten a ton better since then. I mean, just lock this one in all your parlays.
One little key thing and I think this is an exception. And y'all might be able to speak to it a little bit better than I can as far as odds. But hasn't it like that at least? I know it did last week, but hasn't it been a consecutive or at least a lot in a row of the highest person that's supposed to win with the best odds? They blow it quite often. Oh, what was dude's name 2 weeks ago? Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith, yeah.
Yeah, he blew it a couple. I mean, I think it was like 3-4 weeks in a row. Because I remember on DraftKings, I play a whole lot of DraftKings. And, it's almost like sometimes you're like, oh, 9,600, he's a lock. I'm going to go ahead and throw him in. And then kaput. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that there's any chance at all that this could happen right here?
I personally don't think so. Now, that being said, I didn't think Devontae Smith was going to lose last week either. But I usually don't throw the minus 600s, minus 700s in parlays. Last week I didn't. Luckily, it was the only bet that I actually won. But yeah, I mean, Ty can speak to that, but I mean, well, I think Evloev is going to win this fight.
I can't really speak to that, but one thing of note when Worthy came back and was we were interviewing him, he didn't expect to win that fight versus Devontae Smith. He just accepted it because they gave him a 4-fight contract in the UFC, and he was actually friends with Devontae Smith.
Yeah, you can tell they were boys, how they were talking and stuff, and how they were laughing and.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that after that they were training partners and stuff.
They were training partners. They were friends outside of training. The only reason he accepted that fight is because they gave him a 4-fight contract to be in the UFC, and it was his dream to be in the UFC. And he said that he expected to lose that fight, but he was hoping that he would win. And actually, if you guys haven't heard the interviews that he did backstage, you should check those out. He's a really, really good and funny guy. He's actually going to be on our podcast pretty soon.
What's his first name?
Kama, yeah.
Dude has a sweet name, bro. Dude's
Mo, we actually bumped Kama for you, so we had to bump him to put you on the podcast.
Hey, bam! Appreciate you, brother.
All right, let's get into this next fight. I think this is going to be a good fight. I'll take the initial breakdown and then I'll throw it to you guys. Kai Kara-France and Mark De La Rosa. I think Mark De La Rosa needs to fight at 125. I think 135. I don't know where he's at with how much weight he puts on after what he walks around at, but for the most part, I think that 135 he just gets overpowered. His punches don't look like they do anything. At 125, I think he can be effective with his striking. I do think that Kai Kara-France here is going to be quicker. He's going to have the quicker hands in the striking exchanges. But I'm just not impressed with him, man. I really thought that he lost his last fight. Got taken down to the ground once or twice. And I think if Mark De La Rosa gets him to the ground, I think he can threaten the not only threaten the takedown or the trip, but he could also threaten that submission. So I really do like Mark De La Rosa's chances here. I'm just going to pull up the odds while I throw it to Ty. So, Ty, what do you think here? Are you on De La Rosa, Kara-France? Who do you like?
And so Kara-France is another one of those fighters that every fight sometimes I think he's going to be dominant. He just puts up a terrible performance. I'm going to go back to the well. I think that he has the advantage as long as it stays standing. He should pick him apart. It's like you said that De La Rosa, he should be fighting at 125. This is at 135, right?
This is 125 on Tapology. So I'm basing it off of the fact that it should be at 125.
Okay, yeah. And, I mean, Kara-France still holds the technical advantage. I think that he should be able to win. I don't know if I love the line at minus 190 just because I don't trust Kara-France that much. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I'm probably just going to stay away from this fight.
Go ahead, Mo. What do you think, bro?
First off, let's just start with this. Anybody with the nickname Bumblebee, not real high on my cards. You know what I'm saying? Second off, he has a pretty good-looking wife, so we'll give him that. So that he's 1 for 1 there. But where I think this is going to just be a stand-up fight. I think De La Rosa is better on the ground. He has chokes. Kai Kara-France has been choked out. Kai Kara-France does he has shown to gas out in the later rounds, just like Ty Slice was saying. Man, he will frustrate you because you're like, there's no way that Kai Carr is going to lose this. And then he comes out, looks dominant in the first, good striking, good distance, good. Like he strikes at a high rate. He strikes at he lands 4.80 strikes, significant strikes per minute. So and he doesn't absorb as much. He only absorbs 2.77. De La Rosa is the opposite. He absorbs more than he dishes out. So by the numbers, you're thinking, okay, well, De La Rosa, if he takes it to the ground or it ends up on the ground, he could get a choke. But where's it probably going to stand on? It's probably going to end up on the feet. Who's the better boxer, Kai Carr or France? So you're kind of in a position, in my opinion, that you want to bet on Kai Carr France, but then you think back of those other times and you're like, I know my man's going to gas out in the third. And when he gasses out in the third, will De La Rosa be smart enough to get an outside trip or something and take him down and be able to sub him where Kai Carr France has been? I mean, hey, he is not scared to tap Kai Carr isn't. And he has 7 losses on his record. And I'm rambling because I don't really know who's going to win. We're going to go Kai Carr France because I think it's going to end up on his feet. I think he throws more volume, and I think he'll win a decision. But I think Mark De La Rosa is one of your better dog plays because he does have a real chance of stopping Kai Carr France, probably third round with the choke because Kai Carr France does gas out. Official locked-in decision, Kai Carr France decision.
All right, Ty, I got to ask you a question here. Only because I've never seen this choke before, and I don't want to put you on the spot. Like, I don't know if you know this choke or not. But if you look, I just checked my notes. If you look under Kai Carr France, he lost in 2014 by a Bravo.
Yeah.
A Bravo.
A Bravo choke?
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
A Bravo choke it's not. It's pretty common in jiu-jitsu, usually with gi, but it's similar to a Darce choke.
Okay, kind of like a variation of it, or
is it like a ninja choke, kind of?
No, it's not really a ninja choke. It's just your different ways that your arm goes through.
Okay. So again, I've never heard of that before, but
yeah, it's the way that your arm goes through, either through the neck first, or through the shoulder first.
Okay. So we got 2 fights here. My son is still up. It's 10 o'clock. He should be asleep, but let's power through. We got Elise Zaleski. He's got like 7 names or whatever it is, 10 names. I'm just going to call him Zaleski, Dos Santos, all those other names. And he's on Jianglong Li, coming in here at 170. And the thing that I noticed when this line opened, I think it was closer, right? Before I throw it to you guys, let's just see the line movement here. Oh no, it was pretty high. Oh, got a little closer. No, it was pretty high. I thought it was closer. I thought I missed a good line on this because I really like Zaleski, but minus 280 right now. I guess you can throw him in some parlays, but I'm all over Zaleski here. So Mo, what do you think here? Break this one down for us.
I don't have any notes on this one, my man, because I think it's I'm right there with you. I think Jing Ling comes in throwing real wild, and he depends on his chin a lot. He depends on that being able to get hit and pressing forward. And I just think Zaleski's he hits harder. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't have any notes on it. I just envision Jingling doing his is where he comes forward, and Zaleski just catching him with something and putting him on his butt, jumping on top. I think it's going to be a war. Not that I don't think Jingling can't win, because I do think he can win. I think he can pressure him up, hold him up against the cage, do some pot shots, maybe drop for a single. But Jingling doesn't really have the grappling. He can drop down levels and take you down, but he's not really a drop to a body lock to a single, chain grapple to a double, lock hands and pull you out type person. And I think to take Zaleski down and hold him down, you got to be that type of grappler. I don't see Jingling being that, so we're going to go Zaleski for the win. Don't really know what, probably a decision, but either way, Zaleski.
Yeah, Ty, you can come in here too, but I think fight doesn't go to decision is a good prop too. I like Zaleski to finish this fight. So, Ty, what do you think here?
Zhang Lang is very hittable, and that's dangerous when you're fighting Zaleski. I think he's just going to unload on him. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a first-round stoppage or early second.
All right, so I guess we can move right on to this next fight because we're all in agreement on that one. Ty, I'm interested to get your take on this fight, and this is the main event. This is Jessica Andrade and Weili Zhang. And the only thing that concerns me here is Andrade the stronger fighter as she usually is. She's usually the definitely not the bigger. I don't want to say it in terms of height, but in terms of strength, she's usually the strongest fighter. Zhang is pretty impressive. She's got a pretty defined body on her for 115 pounds. So it could be power versus power, and then it comes down to strength in the striking. And Ty, I'll throw it to you on that introduction. What do you think here?
Yeah, so I'm not really sure why so many people are on Weili Zhang in this fight. I know Mo kind of alluded to him kind of thinking that Zhang had the advantage now. I'll let him give his breakdown. But I don't think that Zhang's ready at this point in her career. She's getting thrown. She just had the hardest fight that she's ever had with Tecia Torres. Look great in it, but I don't think that she's ready for the title shot. I think they're only giving it to her because they wanted to break into this Chinese market and get a title fight. Andrade, you know, she was getting picked apart by Rose, and I think that the fact that she didn't really look that impressive until the slam, I think that a lot of people are down on Andrade. I think that you're getting good value at the minus 185 line. I think that she can just wear Zhang out over the course of 5 rounds, and in your face style is something that Zhang really hasn't faced at this point in her career. So if she doesn't catch her early, I expect Andrade to just keep coming and Zhang to eventually gas out.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything that you're saying there. Although Andrade has had some gas tank issues, I guess, in the past too. She does cut a lot of weight. I think both of them must cut a lot of weight for them to be this big.
She does, but that in-your-face style, you have to think that with Zhang's muscle structure and everything, that she might not have the best cardio. It really hasn't been tested in a 5-round fight, and Andrade sets a pace that not many people can hang with.
That's true too. And again, she hasn't been hit by someone like Andrade.
True.
So Mo, what do you think here? Are you really betting Zhang, or you just like her in DraftKings? What are you doing?
Honestly, man, until about 5 minutes before we went on, I was all on what Mr. Ty Slice said. And then I was sitting here thinking to myself, you know, in my own thoughts, started looking at the notes, and I'm a big analytics person. I'm a big numbers person. And then I like to envision what I think is going to happen. And let me read you a couple little key stats to me. Miss Zhang strikes at 5.49 significant strikes per minute and only absorbs 2.17. So she almost doubles what she receives. So she's putting out double what her opponent normally is given. Where Miss Andrade, she puts out 6.58 significant strikes per minute. Big volume, lots of big hooks, but she absorbs 5.4 strikes. So she's taking them to giving them. And so then you think, okay, Andrade has looked like a beast. She was getting beat by Rose, like how Mr. Ty Slice said. She got the slam, wham, bam. But what's the blueprint to beat Andrade? When did Andrade look the absolute worst? Was when she fought JJ, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And Joanna, that's what Joanna does, is put out volume, jabs, straights, leg kicks, keeps her distance, doesn't let her get in close. And that's how I see Zhang. And the big thing for me, which you also said, and touche to this, but so far Zhang has 100% takedown defense. So that means she ain't entertaining what you got to do. You get close to me, I'm keeping the range. I'm keeping the volume. I'm gonna throw. She throws body shots, so that's. I don't see it being a stoppage. I see it being a 5-round decision. And with that, with her putting up more volume, she's going to be hitting Andrade more. I think she's going to be able to stay away from the takedowns. Will she get her down once or twice? Yeah, I think she'll just be able to get up, or the round will end, and then they'll have to start back on their feet. And so I think I just right now talk myself into Zhang. We're going to go Zhang with the decision. And, yeah, I probably will bet a little something on Zhang. El Jefe, boss
now,
man.
if you like Zhang, and I'm going to throw it back to Ty in a minute, but let me just caution a couple things here. First thing is, go to those stats that you threw out are all impressive, but that's against Danielle Taylor, who I don't believe is in the UFC anymore.
No, she's not.
Jessica Aguilar, who she shouldn't be in the UFC anymore. Yeah, she's basically done. And then Tisha Torres, who has now lost, what was that, Ty? 4 in a row after that? Marina Rodriguez lost? Was that her 4th in a row?
She's been facing all top people, but yeah,
she has. She's been facing top people, but she has lost 4 in a row now. And again, none of them are, in my opinion, are going to take Zhang down. Tisha Torres had an opportunity. Maybe she would have taken her down. But Aguilar, although she can take people down, it was a different class. That fight was just a different class for Aguilar. And again, in terms of the striking differential, Danielle Taylor for 2 rounds didn't even want to fight her. I don't think she really even threw much until the 3rd. And Aguilar, I mean, it was basically a blowout. You know what I mean? And that was a first-round sub via armbar.
I know, man.
I'm just saying that when you throw out stats like that, I just want everybody to understand they're very skewed because of the competition. And then what Ty says, if you compare him to Tisha Torres, you know what I mean? Torres has fought everybody that she's fought has been studs basically the last 4, 5, 6 fights. Same thing with Jessica Andrade. She only fights studs. You call like JJ, for example. If you want to compare striking, like nobody that Zhang has ever fought is JJ. You know what I mean? So again, you're talking about a girl in Andrade who's been able to be in the ring with, in my opinion, at 115, the 2 best strikers that I've seen are probably JJ and Rose, right? Like those 2 are the best strikers. Whether Andrade beat them or not, that's case in point there. But for the most part, I mean, I find it very difficult. Go back to what Ty said and what he opened with. This is a big step up in competition for Weili Zhang. She may rise to the occasion, because studs will rise to the occasion, even if she's in there too soon. I just think that it's too soon. If this wasn't UFC China, whatever this is, I know it has another name. I'll bring it out right now. I'll try to say it. I want to push her. What is it? Shenzhen?
China.
Shenzhen. UFC China.
Exactly. UFC China. That's what I'm going with. If it wasn't UFC China, I don't think that we would see. I don't think that we would see this as a main event.
Here's a cool fact for you, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Y'all have certain fighters, just like my man Ty Slice does not ever bet on Souk, right? Oh, Soukhamthath. He's done with them. Get out of here. I know Mr. Brett Apley. Get out of here. I ain't. Oh, who's his? He has a specific fighter. Under no circumstance will he bet on him. To me, my fighter, and she did bite me in the butt last time. I do not ever bet on Rocky Pennington. And Andrade did lose to Pennington. It was at a higher weight class, but I don't think Pennington is that good. And she did, and it was a while ago, but still. And I know I'm reaching, but I'm just hitting these hashtag facts for y'all. You know what I'm saying? She did lose to Raquel Pennington. So y'all do got to keep that in mind. I can tell by that look on old Ty Slice's face, his tank top dropped a little bit. He does not like that response. But hashtag facts, my man.
No, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion on it. But I think that your analysis of the fights that Andrade has looked the worst, you're attributing it to pressure and in-your-face type fighting. I think it has more to do with being a better boxer that can keep the range and have the speed, because she looked terrible versus Rose in the beginning. And Rose is a good boxer. She keeps her range. She's really fast striking. JJ, same thing. Really fast striker. And yeah, she is in your face. But with Zhang, she's not really. She doesn't really have that speed. She's more of a power based fighter, which Andrade is a power based fighter. So, I don't totally disagree with it. I just have like a slight variation on what Andrade struggles with. And I think that she's going to be able to hang with Zhang. And I don't think that Zhang has the experience if things don't go right.
One of the things, like if you go back and listen to Rose's interview, she said she knew where she messed up. And it is young in her career. It's just what I've seen. This is just what I think Zhang does not play. She doesn't entertain the clinch or being taken down. She tries to get the heck out of dodge. And Rose, she admitted, hey, I underestimated it. I went for that Kimura instead of just getting away and getting out. I held on to that Kimura when I should have disengaged and let it go. And I think Zhang will have the fight IQ to know I'm not going to grab this Kimura and let this strong girl that's probably the strongest girl besides Cyborg in women's fighting history, it seems like. Who was it that said that Andrade shouldn't even be allowed to fight at 150?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of people that have said that.
Hey, this girl shouldn't even be allowed. She's so strong. So I think Zhang's going to be like, I'm not going to mess with that. Get away from me. Here, eat my jab, my 1-2. And it's going to be one of those. But that's how I think Rose would have won that fight fairly easy if she just would have played it smart, not got in close and let Andrade pick her up in that high crotch single. I mean, you know what I mean? So that's just kind of how I see that.
Yeah, Rose was serving her up.
Yeah, she was doing the right thing, piecing her up 1-2 and then rolling out to the weak side. You don't want to roll out to Andrade's power side because that's her thing. She's throwing that big right meat hook that's not even allowed to be in the division if you ask certain people.
Yeah, I don't disagree with a lot of the things that you guys are saying. I just think that it's pretty cut and dry to me. This girl just hasn't seen it yet, and I go back to what Ty kind of started with. She hasn't seen that kind of power. She hasn't seen what is she going to do if Andrade is able to pick her up and put her on her back and slam her. She's never had to deal with that. You know what I mean? She's never had to deal with getting hit with no headgear on the way that Andrade is able to hit these girls. If she hits her like the way she hit Carolina, how does she respond to that? Maybe she does. I just don't know it, which is why I can't honestly say that she has a chance to, to stand in Andrade's way and fight through that kind of stuff. So I think Andrade is safe as a straight play or a parlay. Throw a couple things on there if you want to do like Zaleski and Andrade or, a couple things like that, like things that we know pretty good. But Ty Slice, what else do you got going on this week?
I just actually submitted my Prize Picks lines a few minutes ago. Actually, I was working on them while we were doing the podcast, and then the Quant Edge, and I'm actually going to start writing college football articles for the Quant Edge probably too.
Okay, for DFS, or are you doing betting?
Yeah, no, for fantasy sports. If they want me to do betting, I'm open to that also. But I'm writing a fantasy sports article.
Okay. Well, what else you got going on this week?
Man, I ain't got nothing like old Ty Slice Hollywood over there got, but I'm just doing stuff on my YouTube channel. You can find me at Mo Scream TV, Mo Scream. Where I got that name too real fast is y'all remember when Jersey Shore was real hot and going and everybody loved it, and it was like, text this number and get your Jersey Shore name. That was it. Mo Scream came back, boom. So now I go by Mo. So that's it's my Xbox gamer tag. So that's where the name came from. But so Mo Scream TV. I do like live streams on all cards, and that's like from fight 1 to the end fight. So we're talking about 5-6 hour streams. And I was debating, am I going to do the UFC Xing Shang Shung or what? Because it's like a 2 a.m. card. And I think I'm going to, man. So if y'all are up same time, or my people over there in England eating whatever they eat in England, if y'all want to come join me, we're streaming live, doing play-by-play. I go in the zone, and I just start calling it. So y'all welcome to come join. We just cracked 500 subs. So we started in March, so we're slowly climbing. You can also find me right there, Moscreen Fight P1 on Twitter. You follow me, I'll follow you.
All right, there you go. Go ahead, Sam.
And I'll join you on some UFC 3, and we'll live stream it sometime soon, eventually.
Hey, did you catch them? Hey, did you see him? You don't want none, bro.
Nah, I was out with the family. I didn't get a chance to see it.
Oh,
but
boy, hey, I was doing them special for Ty Slice on that Bellator stream because there were so many first-round finishes. I was bored out of my mind. So I just turned the webcam on the TV and went on ranked championships because that's what your boy does. Biceps, curls are for the girls. And I was smashing people. And I was calling Ty Slice. He had he was nowhere to be found.
There's a lot of testosterone on this podcast right now.
I noticed, though, on your YouTube channel, we only got 2 days of workouts. I thought you were going to keep
Hey, bro,
going
I got a lot of stuff going, bro. Hey, you think I got these biceps from not working out? I just can't stream them all the time, bro. Hey,
you started fixing yourself instead.
He was watching tape preparing. Mo, show him the papers again, bro. You've been working.
Hey, what? You don't believe that? Hey, best biceps in the fight predicting game, son.
Oh boy.
No.
Hey, Steven, hey, what you working with over there? Hey, give us a hope.
Bro, I'm 40 years old. I haven't worked out in about 3 months. So.
Hey, bro, I'm not trying to hear that. I know I got the baby face. I know I got the baby face, but I'm 36 years old. I'm only 4 years behind you, bro.
It's 2 kids?
Man,
nope, none.
I don't know. Mo, I don't know if you've seen at the beginning of the year, man, Steve had a bet on the weight loss challenge, and,
I quit. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
Bro, are you tapping?
Hey, I dropped 20 in a month.
Nice.
Steve was faking sickness and everything.
All right, so this is the end of Bruce and Bets for tonight. It was great having Noah on. It was great to see you as usual.
No, appreciate you having me, guys. Appreciate you having me anytime. Hey, next time we can do like one where like I know like maybe some of the people.
Yeah, that would be great because honestly, as you can tell from some of my breakdowns, I just don't trust myself. I don't trust myself picking some of these people. I haven't seen them, fight in the UFC, or I haven't seen them fight anybody that I know, and I just don't trust it. I'm trying to stay away from those fights. But
I feel you, man. I understand. It is pretty scary.
Yeah, it's not smooth sailing at all. So good luck this week on your bets, guys. That's Bruce and Bets.
You want me to do the Stipe dance now or something? End it?
I don't know. I ended the broadcast. It's not ending.
I got you, bro. Hey, we'll go out like this, all right? Hey, short shorts too, huh? Boom. Hey, y'all better like, share, and subscribe. Brews and Bets. I almost blew a ACL doing that, Steven.
Hey, Steve, I think you just clicked the X.
I know, but I got a guitar right here. Just learning. But
it still says we're live. It's still Taco Tuesday over here. I got to get to the taco spot.
I know. That's why I haven't clicked off. It says we're live. I'm not one to leave a crowd. You know what I'm saying?
I guess Steve exited.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, did I hear that you were at a country concert a couple weeks ago?
Oh yeah, that's my jam.
All right. brother. Hey, y'all don't get no more for free. Y'all got to like, share, and subscribe for that.
All right, man. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go get something to eat.
All right, brother. Holler at me later.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, man. Peace.